Okay, hi Snigdha, how you doing?
Hi, Pratha. I'm doing wonderful. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good too. So today I'm going to be speaking about my one-on-one coaching and how it really helped you. And my first question is what actually motivated you to take on my one-on-one coaching or finding more clarity with regards to your career and with regards to your true potential and purpose in life? So what motivated you?
Yeah, so when I reached out to you last year, I was actually in a pretty dark space and like a deep lump with my life because I recently quit my job and I had moved back home from the US. So I had lost a lot. So I lost a job and I lost a lot of friends and relationships and then everything was changing. So I was like in a pretty dark space in general. And I was thinking about it, and I did not want to just go from being in an overwhelmed state to just blindly applying for new jobs and then just going for whatever I get, just for the sake of it. I really wanted to be more mindful about where I'm going, the direction I'm going in. I wanted more clarity on what actually aligns with me because I was an engineer before. But when I quit my job and I reflected on my experience working as an engineer, I realized that I actually did not like it very much. And there were other aspects of my job that I liked a lot more. So this time around, when I quit and I had to find a new job, I thought I want to be more mindful of the direction I'm going in with my career. And it was really hard to pinpoint what that is exactly. So when I came across your Instagram and then we'd met and stuff, I thought this would be something really nice for me to try, because you seem like a great person, and so yeah, that's what kind of motivated me into trying it out.
Mm. And how was the whole experience for you once you started trying it out? Like, describe how you felt after maybe the first session and then how it went from there throughout the 8 sessions that we had together.
Yeah, so again, just to repeat, like I said, when I started out, I was not feeling good at all. I was feeling deeply confused and not motivated at all.
Yeah.
Just kind of sad in general. And I was also in a period of deep inaction. So I was just not able to get myself to work, to even apply for jobs, uh, give interviews, and just show up. So that was something that was super hard for me at the time. But I think just after our first session together, I remember we did a visualization meditation, which was incredibly powerful because, when you're in a dark place like that, and then you visualize your 3 year or, yourself 3 years or 5 years down the line, and you see how much more you've achieved and where you've really gotten, that's something that gives you a lot of happiness. And it really motivates you to do more and do more to get closer to that vision that you see for yourself.
Yeah.
So that was super helpful. I think just after the first session, I got the confidence that in our time together, I would be able to get closer to what I actually like. And I think through you, I was able to understand how important it is to have our careers aligned with our strengths and um, our
In-
true purpose, because I feel like no one really thinks about it when you're in college. You just kind of like go with the flow. And even when you're working, when I was working, I was like, fine, whatever. But only when you truly start thinking about this stuff, you realize that it's important. So with you, I was able to get the confidence that I will be able to get closer to my alignment, to finding alignment and purpose. So it's been like incredibly positive change for me so
Yeah,
far.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. And then how is your life now after our sessions together? What are certain things that have changed a lot for you? What have you made great progress on? And how would you describe your life now?
Yeah, so I think now wouldn't say it's all perfect and rosy now, but I think if I look back on our first session together, I think I've grown leaps and bounds since then. It's just been 2 months, but it has been immense progress. The biggest areas that I think I feel development in is action. So earlier I was battling like a lot of issues with procrastination
Mm.
and inaction and just not wanting to do anything, not applying and not really showing up for interviews. So, so that was a huge problem. I think my sessions with you really helped me tackle that a lot better. So I'm more able to face things head on, actually do stuff without fearing rejection. So I think that's huge for me. A, B, it should probably have been A, but I think I'm now closer to understanding what I actually like. So, like I said, I'd been an engineer before. I hated it, but I didn't really know what I want to do next. So I think through my sessions with you, I was able to kind of figure out that I would be a much better fit for something that's more front facing. So a more customer user facing role, like a product management role or a user data science role, and that's something that's more on the front lines, which is something I did not think very deeply about initially. So I'm still trying to figure out what it is exactly, but I think I have a lot more clarity on what I don't want to do, and I'm a lot closer to what I think I'm meant to do. And I would have it would have been impossible for me to figure this out on my own. So
Yeah.
that is another area of huge development that I experienced. Um, then third was I think like in general I'm a person with super like high functioning anxiety. I'm
Mm.
constantly anxious, and especially before like interviews and important meetings. I get so anxious. I used to get so anxious that like my physical symptoms used to get completely out of hand. Uh, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stop coughing, and then sweating, and all of that was just really bad. A lot of times that this had led me to doing poorly in interviews, and many times also just canceling them because there was no way I could show up. So I think you created a really safe space for me to kind of share all of that with you. Um, and we were able to get to the core of why this really happens. And then you helped me tackle that. So I was able to uh, show up a lot more often and control these high functioning anxiety symptoms. So that was also super helpful. Those
Thank
were the biggest ones. There were a lot of other many small things, like not small things, but like other things that we didn't really start off uh, aiming at, but kind of solve those on the way. So like self-confidence and feelings of rejection.
you.
So it was a lot of things, but these were the biggest ones that career-wise I feel like I really worked on with you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think you also structured it and organized it into 3 points very well. So
Yeah.
it's being structured. And
There's a lot more, but I'll let you know as it keeps coming to me.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that there were so many transformations. And also with regards to the visualization meditations that you said helped
Yeah.
you. So how
A
did you
lot.
feel after these meditations? Like how did you feel after the sessions and after we conducted our meditations at the end of the session?
Put it down in one word, that word would be reassurance.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a place in life when nothing is kind of working out, and you just don't know what's gonna happen next, and you have like no idea, but you're still ambitious and you still want to do things and you still want to, uh, you still have dreams for yourself. Um, these meditations kind of help you realize that there's so much more that's waiting for you. There is so much more that you are meant to do and that you will achieve. And we don't really think about it when we're in a bad place in life. We get into a negative spiral, but these meditations kind of help you break out of that negative spiral and envision yourself in a much more positive light, that you wouldn't do otherwise, right? So it was really reassuring that, it's really reassuring to do those meditations because it gives you the confidence that you will make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
And
that
no
also,
matter how things are right now, like you will make it eventually. And all of this wouldn't matter 1 year or 2 years or 5 years down the line. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that's something that also pushed you to avoid procrastination and start taking action is
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was overwhelming. at first, right, it was all very overwhelming. And then when you started taking action, I could see how you met a mentor and you had a great mentoring session with someone.
Yeah.
It was such a like very miraculous meeting. And then after that, you also started applying for jobs in product management, right?
Yes,
So I think all of
yes.
that was really cool. And also like getting action and moving towards a direction that was more aligned to you. It made me feel very proud. Like I was honestly very proud of you for actually
Thank
taking
you.
action and going towards it. And
Thank you.
of course, and what did
Also, like one thing that I wanted to, sorry, did
continue?
I cut you out?
No, no, no.
Yeah, so I was saying like one thing that I wanted to say was that I think it was huge props to you for creating the safest space possible for me to actually say things that I have never said out loud before. I think I'm really bad with talking about myself and about my emotions and putting all those stuff into words.
Mm,
But I think with you in our sessions, it always felt like I'm talking to a friend, that this is a safe space where I'm not being judged, and whatever I tell you is safe with you. Like you're not gonna go and tell anybody else about it.
mm,
So I think that was uh, that I think that's really difficult to do. But you did it so effortlessly, and you got me to talk. And yeah, I think most of our sessions were you just listening to me. And it's insane that you never actually gave me any advice now that I think about it. But you were just listening to me and you were asking me questions, and it was only me who had answered all of those and gotten closer to whatever I was trying to get to. So I think that's superb. That's insane. It's
mm.
insane
Oh,
how you do it.
thank you so much. That's a huge achievement and win for me. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think like what I believe is that every human has resources within themselves to find the answers. And I'm glad now I feel like you have the confidence to believe that every answer you're looking for is within you. You just need that
yeah,
nudge. You need someone to ask you the right questions to get to those answers, but it's all within you.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
I'm really, really happy that you see it now, that you see that you have all these answers and no one else has to give you advice. It's just you have to
yeah,
trust your intuition and your gut
yeah.
and your body, your emotions. Yeah.
And find those answers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what have you started doing differently after these 2 months of working with me? Like, is there something that you see you have been doing differently compared to before when it comes to either boosting your confidence or when it comes to, say, anxiety, when it comes to procrastination? um, when it comes to the way you've been applying for jobs.
Yeah, yeah, so much. So, I think again, like I think the biggest one is having an actual routine. So I was able to be more organized with my time and time box myself and have slots for everything that I wanted to do. Um, that was huge because, like, again, when I started out, nothing. I was just, I don't know what I was doing all day, and where time was going. So it was really useful. The whole like calendar planning thing we did was super cool because I was able to time box myself and I was able to have slots for when I want to do what. And it's all super attainable, right? It's not something that's just like um, that's that we're doing just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's all super attainable, actionable stuff that helped me get into the groove and the routine that I really needed to and get more done. So that was one. B was, I think, I do think about this a lot. I think you also really helped me with nourishment, self-nurturing. I don't know how to put it, like just self-care, you know? I remember you sent out a quiz about how well are you taking care of yourself and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I actually took that and I realized I'm not taking very good care of myself. So I think again through our sessions together, I was also super motivated to make more time for my health and for my hobbies. Like I was trying to get more into reading, so be able to do more of that. Actually make time to do that, and then eat better and then exercise more
Mm.
and that and also like inculcate more positive habits like how to break out of the anxiety when you're really going through it.
Yeah.
So all the EFT and all of that was super helpful because um, they were good habits that I've now learned to inculcate and help break out of a negative zone whenever I'm in one. So that was huge. Also, yeah, I think so we also did like goal setting and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that I would have never done. Like I am not that person. I would have never done it if you didn't have if you didn't like nudge me into kind of doing it. But when I did it, I realized how powerful it actually is, because like it makes you think very deeply about where you're actually going. We have all these dreams for ourselves, and there's all these things we want to achieve, but weeks fly by, and then years fly by, and then suddenly you realize you haven't really achieved any of it. So
Yeah.
I think when I did those goal setting activities and think about like where I want to go in life, how I want to contribute to the world, I was able to think more deeply about how I want to um, break it down into like year wise and then month wise goals. And then we work together to translate them into like um, calendar time blocks, and then actually make space to tackle each of them one by one. So that was something I would have never done on my own, never ever. But and even while I was doing it, honestly, I did not think that it's something that would help me. But
Mm.
or it, I even while I was doing it, I didn't truly believe that I needed to do it. But only once I was done, did I realize how actually transformational that activity was, and how important it was for me to understand and see where I want to be December 2024. So that was super, super helpful for me. Um, then I think like in general, even out of our coaching calls, I feel like you're a great coach. But also, I think as a person, you inspire me so much, because we're basically the same age, right? But seeing you do all this with your life is like truly crazy inspiring for me. I think you're doing great. And so, like, after every session, you help me as a coach, yes, but at the same time, you inspired me so much to just like be a better person, because I really look up to girls like you, and I'm like, damn, this is how I want to be. So just like working with you in general is a super positive experience, because I've always been really inspired by everything you do.
That's so
So yeah. Oh, also like one more thing that just popped up was journaling. So I never thought I'm going to be the journaling type. I didn't think I'm that person, but when I actually started doing it, it was so empowering. It was so empowering because it was like after a terrible day, you just kind of just spill it out, and just take it out, and you write it down, and then you feel so free once you do it, right? So started doing that after you encouraged me into doing it, which was also extremely helpful for me. Um, then I think like this is yeah, like I don't really know how to describe it, but I feel like in general, we all know what being in a negative headspace feels like, with constantly nagging negative thoughts. So I think from our sessions together, I was also able to understand how to actively transform them into positive thoughts. And again, like that's something you just cannot do on your own. But with your help, I was able to like understand how to slowly get into a more positive headspace, which was really, really important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much for sharing everything with me and being so open. And yeah, I'm really, really glad that these transformations have been very helpful and very motivational for you too. And I'm so glad I'm an
Okay.
inspiration. Like that means so much to me.
Yeah,
And
of course, you are.
and just to give like more of a context to the listeners, so Snigdha and I had a power hour, which is like a 1 hour because it was like a bonus session apart from our 8 sessions. So that was like a ninth session, but that was mainly because what I heard from our sessions was that she was dealing with procrastination and overwhelmed with a lot of wanting to do certain tasks but not getting to it. And I think the power hour gives you so much clarity with scheduling and time boxing, like she said, to get everything together in that 1 hour and actually work with a friend or with a coach and do like get to like the things that you need to do that are pressing, that are urgent, put it down in your Google Calendar, have accountability for it, have your reward system for it, and then have a trigger that motivates you to take that action. So that's what we did in that power hour. And I think, yeah, I think that's something that has been very beneficial for me. So I see how it has been transformational for you too. And apart from that, I wanted to ask that you were speaking about journaling and the quiz and everything. So these are some things I sent you on email after our sessions together. So, and how have you felt with my prompts after the sessions, or with the visualization meditations that I've sent you after the sessions, or with the homework or tracking your energy? How has that been
Uh,
in general?
Yeah, super cool. It was all great stuff. It was gone. I think no one actually thinks about doing this stuff on their own. I think we all need that one person who can kind of push us into actually doing it. And I will also admit that when you start doing it, as an outsider to this whole like energy concept and coaching concept,
Yeah,
you you everyone has doubts about how this is going to work, like like it doesn't really make sense, like
yeah,
how is this going to help me kind of
yeah,
a situation. But I think after all of our calls, you've sent me so many great resources. Each of them have has always been like extremely bang on, extremely relevant to the issue I'm dealing with, and also extremely helpful at the same time. Like all the resources you sent me, at so many meditations, EFTs, and journaling prompts, and questions to think about. And then for the power hour, we worked on that long document together. That was also super cool. And then track my energy. So much more that I can't even like. So many quizzes, all of that. It was again, like I stepped into it with hesitation. I will accept that. But I think just the process of actually doing it answered so many questions for me. It made me reflect so much on how my life has been going so far. That was, I think, extremely powerful for me, being able the ability to reflect on what went right and what went wrong. In terms of everything, like career wise and relationships wise and friendships wise, and um, what I did wrong and what I did right and all of that. So reflections super helpful. Uh, so yeah, I think like those resources, again, that's something you will never come across on your own. You will never actually do on your own. But with working with you, I got the confidence that okay, if Pratna is sending it to me, then it probably does make sense in some way. Give me the encouragement to try it out, and then eventually also believe that it will work.
yeah.
So yeah, super cool.
Thank you for
They
trusting
were all great.
me. It was just so
Yeah.
okay. Awesome. Thank you. And now moving on to what's next. What is next for you in terms of your career path? Like, what do you foresee? Where do you foresee the next steps being for you
Right now,
right now? Like, what do you want to do next in terms of career? What do you want to do now?
I think I have a lot more clarity on the direction I want to go in, but I'm in tech, so tech is huge, and there's never that one right position for you. So I'm still, I, I think I'm a lot clearer on the direction I'm going in, yes, but also like there's a lot of things still that there's a lot of things that I'm still figuring out. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm still figuring out where I want to be on the map. Like, do I want to be in India? Do I want to be in the US? Do I want to be somewhere completely different? Stuff like that. Still kind of answering that. I think, yeah, like there is a bunch of unanswered questions still, but I think I've made how do I put this? I feel like I'm just more open to it now. Like I am very confident that the direction I'm going in is right for me. And then whatever comes to me in that direction will be a lot more aligned with me. So right now I'm just, I'm still applying for jobs and I'm still interviewing, and I don't really have anything super solid yet. But I think uh, despite not having anything, I do have the confidence that it will work out. I have the clarity I needed to take steps that are more aligned to my calling and my purpose. And yeah, so yeah, I don't
That's
think that
awesome.
answered your question.
It did. No, of course it did.
Okay.
I think you've made a lot of progress in terms of like clarity and confidence
Yeah.
from what I'm hearing. And even though you right now, like I also you mentioned that you've been very open to, what's gonna come and new pathways. And I see that because, when you allow yourself to be open, you have a lot of opportunities that are coming your way too. You also got an interview with someone who was in a product management position and got to speak to them about how their day-to-day looks like.
Yeah.
You've got a new mentor. There are a lot of things that have just come that are going to be so helpful to you that I feel like you allowed to come into your life because you
Yeah.
did. So,
Resources.
yeah, these are all
Yeah,
tangible
that's so
outcomes.
true. Like, I think that's so, yeah, that I think I should elaborate on is that I think when we started, I was super closed off to this. But now I'm a lot more open. And so that puts me on a higher energy spectrum. And being in that higher energy spectrum really allowed for the right resources and the right people to automatically get in touch with me. Like, I did not do anything to actively meet those people, but I was just put in touch with them and I was able to talk to them, and they gave me their time, which I'm super grateful for. So yeah, just I think being more open in general is a huge win. So
Yeah,
yeah, and
no,
I met so many people and I learned so much just by being open.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, so much.
yeah,
I know I heard all your like, when we started the session with what you're grateful for and your wins, all of them like progressively was so exciting. Like, I could see the excitement on your face, see how it lit you up. And so yeah, I'm
yeah.
really, really proud of you for being open to all these lovely opportunities that came your way. Now,
Yeah.
to end off, who would you recommend this one-on-one coaching to? Like if you met someone and
Mhm.
what kind of person would they be that you would recommend this one-on-one coaching to?
Oh, great question. I think my impulsive answer would be anyone and everyone because I think especially at our age, no one thinks about purpose and what am I here for and all of that. But at the same time, we're also deeply, not all, but I think a lot of us are deeply like demotivated, um, and just not happy with the direction we're going in. Some of us are in it for the money, some of us are in it for our visa and whatnot. So we let go of toxic jobs and people and situations just for the sake of it. So I think like doing something like this would give us so much more clarity on what will make us truly happy and what we should be doing to contribute to the world positively, but also at the same time, like um, contribute to our own well-being um, at the same time. That would be my impulsive answer, but I think I would recommend this if I had to, I would recommend this to anyone who is someone who wants to break out of that cycle, like me. So when I joined this, like before that, I was in this vicious cycle of job no job, job no job, job no job, and again that comes with so many things, like just for the sake of having a job you keep applying and then you get into whatever you get. And then I was in the US again, so I was on a visa, and so like just to keep my visa I would just take whatever I had. um and so it's a cycle that's really hard to break, but once you recognize that this is not how you want to live anymore and you really want to change that and you want to find the means to change it, I think those kind of people should come to you, who are really like willing to make the change and take action. So this would be like super helpful for those kind of people, but really like anyone would benefit from it, of course. But specifically if I had to tell you, people who want to break out of a cycle. uh, so yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
That's
really well explained.
okay. Okay.
And lastly, what would you advise anyone who's on the fence to apply for the one-on-one coaching? Like they're not sure whether they should apply or not. What would you tell them? Like the last piece of like
Do
advice?
it. What are you thinking about? Like it can't not go well, right? There is no way it won't go well. And oh, what do you like by one-on-one coaching? Do you mean like all these 8 sessions?
Yeah,
Oh, oh yeah, no, totally. Like I think I am your biggest cheerleader and I'm the biggest supporter when it comes to
oh,
like go find what you're meant for because I really do I don't think none of us should spend any time, energy, money on anything that does not belong to us, that does not align with us. And it is about time that we recognize that. I think so many of us don't even know that we're in the wrong place. We don't even know that this is not what we're meant for.
yeah,
So something like this would really help us recognize that, oh, am I even in the right job? Am I even in the right city? Am I even among the right group of friends? All that stuff, you know. So it's
yeah.
so important to recognize that, and recognition and acceptance is the first step to like change. So do it and find out, and then change it, like change whatever doesn't belong to you. So there's no way this could go wrong.
I love that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Sita. And you've been amazing to work with. I'm so glad of your progress. So proud of you also. And I'm always
thank
here if
you.
you ever need me. Okay.
I know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.